anytime a U.S. citizen is killed by our government, that's, I mean, you know me, I would be outraged. Hi, guys.
This has pretty much been explained.
If this was a different scenario and it wasn't necessarily a law being enforced, but it was, you know, maybe ICE or maybe a federal government trying to come take people's guns and someone got shot and killed, I would be absolutely on the other end of this. However, when it comes to immigration law, borders, just simply trying to enforce that, maybe this kind of stuff needs to start happening. Unfortunately, it is what it is, but we can't keep having these Renée Goods, these Alex Prettis who are shown on video absolutely impeding these federal agents, absolutely spitting at them, being violent, assaulting them, carrying a weapon while doing so, just asking, just begging for this, wanting to be a martyr. Maybe this type of stuff needs to actually start happening in order for people to start respecting the law again, maybe start respecting our laws that have been on the books for decades and respecting our borders and understanding that nothing has really changed. So overall, this leads into my next topic, which is the overall take on ICE. And I want to ask people, what has changed since the Obama administration? Seriously, what has changed in the last 10 to 15 years when it comes to ICE and the enforcement of immigration? If you look at the numbers, Obama deported more people than Trump by quite a lot. More people than George W. Bush by quite a lot. So what has changed? Is it the tactics that are used to enforce immigration to deport people? Well, yeah, they have changed slightly because of technology. And ironically, they're using Medicaid to go find illegal immigrants, even though illegal immigrants are not on Medicaid, according to the left. But they're using that data to go find them. So yeah, good luck arguing that still. But what has really changed? No, the only thing that has really changed is the media coverage and the brainwashed libtards like Alex Pretti and Renée Good, who are just, I feel for them. Just look at them and look at the brainwashed and the just mental anguish that they seem to be under because they're convinced, because they've been told this by the media and they trust CNN and they pray to the news every night and say, thank you, CNN, for telling me what I must think and do. They think that Trump and the ICE administration, the Trump administration and ICE is literally the Gestapo. Someone on CNN recently said that they wouldn't be surprised if ICE was putting people in showers like the Holocaust and gassing people. Like, what? What? Nothing has changed except the media coverage and the libtard extreme left who just don't have any sort of broad perspective of history and the enforcement of simple immigration law in our country. And what did people expect? Unfortunately, this is what has to happen. Immigration has not been enforced as strongly as it is right now in decades. And just because now the borders being extremely strictly enforced, the amount of illegals crossing over into America from Mexico went from hundreds of thousands in a month to zero, almost zero from the transition from the Biden administration to the Trump administration. So now we've got to clean house. And what has really changed? I'm thinking it has to do with voters, guys, because they're saying that illegal immigrants are not allowed to vote. But go look at the chart where Kamala Harris, from the Kamala Harris and Trump election in 2024, go look at the states that Kamala Harris won. These are the states that did not require voter ID. She happened to win every single one of them except for 2. Coincidence? I think not. But that's my overall take. Deportations have not necessarily increased the way that ICE raids have happened. I mean, when Obama was president, they literally, CNN was doing ride-alongs with ICE and showing how amazing ICE was, and they're such a good job, and they do it, and they don't hurt people. But now they're forcing people to get in ICE's face and making it very hard on them because of the media coverage. That's all that's changed, media coverage. And these just protests that are being funded by NGOs. That's the only thing that's really changed. So don't get out there and think that ICE is Gestapo. They're not. They're just literally enforcing immigration law that's been on the books for decades. And that's the only way. How do you operate a country and not enforce one of its most basic, one of its most necessary laws, which is enforcement of immigration? Why should people have to spend so much money to come to America and do it the right way when they're letting people off the hook who just jump the border and don't have to pay taxes and just get to reap all the benefits and vote, apparently? It's not fair. It's not right. We need justice. We need it now.
For the latest in case updates, legal tips, news, and politics, make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and our other socials, and above all, subscribe on YouTube to get your dose of excellence on a daily basis.